Rudy got himself dealt a knife in the back, which, of course, doesn't exactly relax my shoulder blades any. Right now, though, it looks like my best chance of finding the killer is up at the inn, so I hop the next train. 2 hours later, I get off at a small village at the foot of a mountain. Then I spot another guy getting off the train, a fat gent with a cane who comes waddling toward me.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Is your destination the inn?
Why, yeah, you know where it is?
Sight along the cane, sir, up on the side of the mountain.
Huh? Hey, long way up.
Hey, Lena should be here any moment.
Lena?
The innkeeper's daughter. She usually meets the friends.
Oh, you're a guest at the inn, Mr.?
Whitley's the name, sir. Ronald Whitler. And you?
Steve Mitchell.
Delighted. Yes, I'm a guest at the inn.
But you took a little trip into Oslo, huh?
Yes. Made a rare find, too.
What?
I'm a collector. Isn't this a beauty?
The cane?
Oh, it's much more than just an ordinary cane. See it. Oh,
a sword cane, eh?
I'm sorry, old boy.
Look, would you flourish that thing somewhere else than in the vicinity of my belt buckle?
Stay tuned for action and comedy. Hello there, I'm Victor Ives, and this is the golden age of radio theater. Yes, this is the show where we turn back the clock to relive the golden moments of radio's yesteryear to bring you a couple of the greatest radio shows of all time. This time, from March 24th, 1953, Brian Donlevy stars as Steve Mitchell on Dangerous Assignment, and then later this hour, family situation comedy with the Great Gildersleeve. First, Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell, taking his orders from the commissioner, and the action takes us to Oslo, Norway.
Dangerous Assignment. Transcribed starring Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell.
Yeah, danger is my assignment. I get sent to a lot of places I can't even pronounce. They all spell the same thing, though, trouble. But when I walk into the commissioner's office, I don't realize that this assignment's going to wind up with me exactly 1 foot from death. Morning, Commissioner. You sent for me?
Steve, I've arranged an appointment for you in Oslo, Norway, tomorrow night.
Oh? Who am I supposed to meet?
We won't know until he shows up. Room 21, Hotel Engar.
Is this going to be a friendly meeting, or are things apt to get rough, Commissioner?
We've been after this man for a long time, Steve. He heads an organization known as the Bureau, an international clearinghouse for stolen information.
Sounds like big business.
It is. This man has agents operating in every European capital, as well as here in the United States. They pick up any secret information they can buy or steal, funnel it back to the Bureau, where he sorts it out and peddles it to any nation interested.
I see. So why is he going to show up at the Hotel Engar in Oslo?
He's bringing a payroll. He's to turn over $50,000 to a man representing his agents in this country.
And how did we find this out?
Our boys grabbed this representative in New York last night as he was about to board a plane for Europe. He talked plenty.
I get it. So I take this gent's place and go on to Oslo to meet Mr. Big. Wait a minute, Commissioner. Won't it sort of complicate things if Mr. Big knows what the courier looks like?
He won't. A different man is sent for the payroll each time. And the man we have in custody has never met the big shot.
Okay, what name do I use?
Francis.
You're kidding.
Nick Francis. That's the courier's name. Get over to Oslo, Steve. It's vitally important we nail the head of this organization. Well, that's it. You've got your assignment. Good luck.
You're listening to Dangerous Assignment on the golden age of radio theater. Back in just a moment. Once again, our star, Brian Donlevy, on Dangerous Assignment.
Sure, I've got my assignment. Get over to Oslo, Norway under the name Nick Francis and keep an appointment with a gent who heads an international information ring. It's early Thursday evening when my plane lands at the Norwegian capital. As I saunter through the airport waiting room, I get the feeling that a pair of eyes are planted on the back of my head.
Attention, please. Mr. Francis report for the information desk. Attention, Mr. Francis. Report.
Well, here we go already. I don't know if that's good or not. I look around, spot the info desk at the far end of the waiting room, and walk over.
Yes, sir. May I assist you?
You were paging me. I'm Nick Francis.
Oh, yes. A lady has been asking for you.
Oh, well.
Let me see. Over there. You see the large lady with the red hat carrying the parage cage?
Oh, yeah.
Sitting next to her on the left, the attractive blonde lady. That's the one.
Well, that's better.
Here she comes.
Looks like Oslo's answer to Marilyn Monroe.
I beg pardon?
You are Mr. Francis?
That's right.
Well, I'm Helga Strauss. There has been a change of plans, Mr. Francis. I was sent to inform you. It is not safe here at the hotel.
Thanks for the tip. What now?
You will come with me. I will take you to the meeting.
Okay. Lead on, Helga. Outside, we ease into her car and drive off. During the next 10 minutes, she doesn't volunteer much information, and I don't ask. Finally, she wheels the car to a stop in a small side street in a quiet neighborhood. I follow her down a winding path and around to the front of an old, dilapidated house. We push through the rickety front gate and up onto the porch. Hey, place kind of dark. Doesn't seem to be anyone home.
Right here. I will go around to the back.
Want me to come along?
No, you wait here.
I light up a cigarette and wait. A couple of minutes go by, and then I happen to spot something partially hidden in the weeds not far from the porch. I go down and pick it up. It's a small sign on a post, and I know just enough Norwegian to read it. For sale. I grab my bag and head down the path on the double. When I get back to the street, Helga's car is long gone. Yeah, as neat a sucker play to get me out of the way as I've ever seen. No blood, no mess, no fuss. Simple, but effective. I give myself 3 demerits and spend the next 10 minutes trying to find a cab. It's another 15 minutes before I pull up at the Hotel Engar.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. I'm Leanvold. May I help you?
I have a reservation. The name is Nick Francis.
But how can that be, sir?
Look, what goes?
But Mr. Francis is already in his room.
What?
Yes, sir. He checked in an hour ago. Went upstairs immediately.
I don't wait for the elevator. I take the stairs, 2 at a clip, and 40 seconds later I pull up at the door of room 21 and try the knob. The door's unlocked. There's a gent curled up on the floor, probably the phony Nick Francis. He has a surprised look on his face. I guess he wasn't expecting the knife that's buried in his back. Five minutes later, the law arrives in the person of one Lieutenant Roberg. He clears the room of interested spectators, and when we're alone, I show him my credentials and give him a fast rundown.
Then our killer could have been the man you are seeking, the head of this so-called bureau.
Right. He walks in, recognizes this gent as a phony, and slips him the knife.
Another possibility, Mr. Mitchell. What if he knew or suspected the man in the room here was an American agent?
I don't see how he could have found that out, but it's a thought, and not a very pleasant one. I found this in his pocket.
A key?
Fits a locker, I'd say. There's a number stamped on the back. Also a manufacturer's mark.
Yes. I do not think this will be difficult to trace.
The lieutenant puts in a couple of phone calls and finds out the key is to a baggage locker, and 10 minutes later we roll up in front of the railroad station in a police car. As the lieutenant and I hurry inside, I bump into an old friend.
Oh, excuse me. What's you?
Yeah, me. Hold on, sweetheart.
Let me go here. I will call the police.
You can whisper for one, Helga. Meet Lieutenant Roberg.
What?
This lieutenant is the little lady I was telling you about. She's in the real estate business. Specializes in empty houses.
Oh, how fortunate we meet, my dear. I have some questions I would like to ask concerning the affair at the Hotel Engar this evening.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You can drop that routine, sweetheart. You're up to here in murder.
Murder?
Yeah, your boyfriend.
Rudy, Oh, you lie.
A trip to the morgue might convince you.
Rudy's dead.
What was your boyfriend's game? Come on, Helga.
Well, I knew very little about it. We met Rudy and I at the inn 2 months ago. He was a ski instructor.
What inn is this you speak of?
Jornsen. It is in the mountains near the village of Avdal. A few days ago, he told me that he had uncovered a marvelous opportunity to make a lot of money. That I could help him.
What was this opportunity?
He was to come to the Hotel Engar here in Oslo, pose as a man named Nicholas Francis, and someone would give him $50,000.
And who was this someone?
I do not know. Rudy did not tell me. You said that he had heard part of a telephone conversation at the inn. One of the guests was involved. He did not tell me who that guest was, though.
I see. Well, Lieutenant, suppose you escort Helga to the car, huh? I'll see what this locker key turns up.
Over here, Mr. Mitchell.
Ah. Where's our girlfriend?
In the car. My man is with her.
Here's the stuff I found in the station locker. Small traveling bag, clothing. Also a wallet and identification papers. Checks with what Helga told us.
I see. Well, come, let's go back to headquarters then.
You go on, Lieutenant. I've just bought a train ticket to Avdal.
You are going up to the inn?
Yeah. I'm interested in the guests staying there, or one of them anyway. I'd like to find out which one took a little trip to Oslo today.
Having rid himself of Rudy, you think he has gone back to the inn?
Maybe. Probably to set up another contact with Nick Francis.
I see. But suppose our killer knew that the man he was to meet in that room was an American agent. Instead, he finds Rudy, whom he recognizes as the ski instructor. He kills him because, obviously, Rudy knows too much.
Go on, Lieutenant.
There is still the American agent to be disposed of. You. The killer hurries to the airport to contact Nick Francis, perhaps by the same method the girl used.
Only she beats him to it, but he gets a good look at me.
And now if you show up at the inn...
Yeah, I'm a dead pigeon. That is if your theory is right. If you're wrong, I'll see you around, Lieutenant.
We'll return to Oslo, Norway, and Dangerous Assignment in just a moment. Now the conclusion of Dangerous Assignment.
Well, at this point, it looks like Rudy, the ski instructor at Jorson's Lodge up in the mountains, decided to deal himself into the card game by posing as Nick Francis to collect a payroll from the boss of an international secret information ring, which, of course, is what I'm trying to do also in order to nab the boss. But Rudy got himself dealt a knife in the back, which, of course, doesn't exactly relax my shoulder blades any. Right now, though, it looks like my best chance of finding the killer is up at the inn, so I hop the next train. 2 hours later, I get off at a small village at the foot of a mountain. Then I spot another guy getting off the train, a fat gent with a cane who comes waddling toward me.
Ah, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Is your destination the inn?
Why, yeah, you know where it is?
Right along McCain, sir. Up on the side of the mountain.
Huh? Hey, long way up.
Hey, Lena should be here any moment.
Lena?
The innkeeper's daughter. She usually meets the trains.
Oh, you're a guest at the inn, Mr.?
Whitley's the name, sir. Ronald Whitley. And you?
Steve Mitchell.
Delighted. Yes, I'm a guest at the inn.
But you took a little trip into Oslo, huh?
Yes. Made a rare find, too.
What?
I'm a collector. Isn't this a beauty?
The cane?
Oh, it's much more than just an ordinary cane. Seat. Oh,
A sword cane, hey.
I'm sorry, old boy.
Look, would you flourish that thing somewhere else than in the vicinity of my belt buckle?
Did I come a bit too close for comfort?
Yeah.
Here's Lena.
Hello, Mr. Whitley.
My dear, this is Steve Mitchell. Another guest for you.
Hello, Mr. Mitchell.
Well, hello.
A charming addition to the inn, don't you think, Mitchell?
Yeah, and I haven't even seen the inn.
Come along, both of you. This is your room, Mr. Mitchell.
Very nice.
And here, a nice view from this balcony, don't you think?
Yeah. Hey, long way down, too.
Over there, in that direction, is...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I did not mean to crowd you against the rail.
Of course not.
I just wanted to point out the pond where we skate. And down there is another pond. Quite beautiful in the evening.
Oh?
Perhaps you would like to see it.
Perhaps you'd like to show it to me.
Perhaps tonight.
That's the date. You know, things happen kind of fast up here. Must be the altitude.
Or the attitude.
That could be. Many guests here at the inn?
Oh, quite a few. You have already met one of them, Mr. Whitley.
Yeah, the gent with the sword cane. He took a quick trip to Oslo last night, huh?
Yeah, with Mr. Coulter.
Who's Mr. Coulter?
He's another guest who also took a trip into Oslo.
Has he come back yet?
Yeah, on an earlier train this afternoon.
Where is he now?
I believe he's out skiing. Well, come along downstairs, Mr. Mitchell. I introduce you to some of the guests. Huh?
Fine, Lena.
Oh, here's one of them now coming down the hall.
That's some cast he's got on that foot.
Yeah, poor Mr. Tarson.
Well, Lena, my dear.
Mr. Tarson, I'd like you to meet another guest, Mr. Steve Mitchell.
Mr. Tasson?
Make it Tass, Steve. That's what everybody calls me, just plain Tass.
Looks like you've had an accident.
Oh, the ankle? Well, Steve, that one's on me. Yes, sir, I was a chucklehead. That's all there is to it.
How so?
Live dangerously. That's my motto. Old Tass has only been skiing a couple of months, but already he's not satisfied with the easy slope back of the inn. No, sir. He's got to try the big one over the ridge.
A very dangerous slope, Steve.
Talk about a 3-point landing, and one of the points happened to be my ankle.
Quite a few of us saw it happen. We thought he was dead for a moment.
Only thing that saved me, I guess, was that I hit first on my head.
Yeah, well, I'll see you around, Mr. Tasson. I wander around the inn, sizing up the guests, and of course I'm wondering about that cast on Tasson's ankle, and if it's legit, but I find out real soon that it is. One of the guests is a doctor who set the ankle, and he tells me it was broken in 2 places. That sort of crosses Laughing Boy Tasson off my list, because the gent I'm after killed Rudy in Oslo, and Tasson hasn't left the inn. That sort of focuses attention on Whitley, the sword cane artist, and Cooler, who's still out skiing. Also, I'm wondering about that quick date Lena made with me for tonight. She could be involved, too. Towards night, I wander into the lounge.
Steve? Over here by the fireplace.
Oh, Tasson.
All right, come on in and join us for a drink, huh? Take the chill out of your bones. You know Whitley, Steve.
Sure, he made quite an impression on me earlier with the point of his sword cane.
You are enjoying your stay here, Steve?
Yeah,
Oh, what is it, Steve?
Nothing. I'll be back. What starts me moving is the sight of a man starting down the stairs. It's Lindbald, the clerk from the Hotus. 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 It's Lindbald, the clerk from the Hotel Engar in Oslo. As he reaches the bottom of the stairs, he spots me and ducks out a back door. I pound after him. I circle around the inn a couple of minutes. It's too cut up to do any tracking. Hey, Lieutenant Roberg from Oslo. What are you doing here?
Well, I went to the Hotel Engar to question the clerk Lindvold again about the times involved in Rudy's murder. They told me Lindvold had been taken ill suddenly. As I was leaving, I observed him coming out of the rear entrance. I followed him to the depot.
And then here, huh? Come on, he can't be far.
If Lindvold is involved, Mitchell, that means...
Hold it.
What's the matter?
Sounds like an engine of some sort.
The ski lift. Lindvold's going up the slope on one of the seats. Come on.
We head for the ski lift, but halfway up the slope, Lindvold spots us and jumps off. We start after him. It's slow going in the snow, but we gain on him. Then over the ridge, he comes to a deep crevice. He tries to jump across, but he doesn't make it.
Mitchell!
Yeah, that takes care of Lindvald. Look, I figured he was just a stooge in the deal. Also, the people at the inn can't possibly know he's dead. So we're going back to the inn and set a little trap. If it works, I hook the boss. When we get to the inn, Lieutenant Roberg goes inside alone. I ease up to a window where I can hear.
Is Mr. Mitchell here?
No, he went outside some time ago.
I am Lieutenant Roberg of the Oslo Police. When Mitchell returns, tell him I am taking a man named Lindvold into the village for questioning. I want Mitchell to join me immediately.
Lieutenant Roberg leaves the inn. I wait a few minutes and then stroll inside.
Say, the policeman looking for you.
Huh?
He wants you to come into the village.
Oh? Well, yours is the only car here, Lena. Could I borrow it?
Of course.
She gives me the keys, and I go upstairs, supposedly to change clothes, but actually to wait and see who the information ring, one of the guests, now thinks that Lindvold is under arrest, and if he's afraid Lindvold will talk, he'll either want to stop me from getting into the village, or else he'll try for a getaway. Either way, he'll want those car keys I've got, and he'll come after them. And it didn't take him long.
I say, Mitchell.
Whitley?
If you're going into the village, would you pick up a couple of magazines for me?
Oh, fine. Okay.
Yeah. I've written down the names. Thanks awfully.
Hold it, Mitchell.
Well, Laughing Boy Tassin. I should have remembered that balcony runs clear across the front of the inn. You get around pretty well for a guy with one foot in a cast.
I manage. You don't seem surprised to see me.
I'm not. That's why Whitley showing up threw me for a moment. No, as soon as I found out Lindvold was in the deal, the lights started to dawn, and you were the logical one.
How so?
Look, Rudy, the ski instructor, found out there was going to be a payoff to your American representative, Nick Francis, so Rudy decided to pose as Francis and collect.
That's right.
But he'd have hardly done it if he thought the boss was going to make the payoff in person. He had to be sure the boss wouldn't come to Oslo. How could he be sure? Well, a busted ankle, for instance.
I see.
Lindvold was to make your payoff for you, but Lindvold recognized Rudy as a phony and knocked him off, then came back here to report to you.
That's pretty nice figuring, Mitchell, but too late. Right, now just step out on the balcony here and hand over those keys.
Okay.
That's far enough.
What happens now?
An unfortunate accident. It's a long way down, and you shouldn't have been standing so close to the rail.
Neither should you.
Mitchell!
I dive to one side and hack at his gun. Knocks the shot wild. He swings the gun at me, but I duck under it and throw him off balance. All his weight comes down on the bum foot, and it can't support him. Oh, brother.
Mitchell! I double back as you suggested.
Hello, Lieutenant.
That was Tassin?
Yeah, he took the big drop, just like his stooge Lindvold. I guess that's what you call two falls to a finish.
From March 24th, 1953, Brian Donlevy has starred as Steve Mitchell on Dangerous Assignment. You're listening to the Golden Age of Radio Theater. Now, family situation comedy with Hal Perry starring as the Great Gildersleeve. This broadcast from November 26, 1944. A new love enters Gildy's life, but Judge Hooker seems to have beaten his time. Let's find out what happens on the Great Gildersleeve.
Now let's join our old friend Gildersleeve. Several days have passed since his attempt to introduce Judge Hooker's lady friend, Dolores Del Rey, to Summerfield society, a party which ended somewhat unpleasantly for both guests and host. 3 days later, Gildersleeve is still trying to patch up the damage. Right now, for instance, we find him stepping into the barber shop to square things with Floyd Munson.
Oh, hello there.
Hello, Floyd. Nice day, isn't it?
Nothing extra?
No, I guess you're right. Thought I might just have a haircut.
Haircut? What for? Cut your hair last week, day before the big blowout.
Blew out. It was more of a washout.
I wouldn't argue with you.
I'm sorry about the whole thing, Floyd. If I said anything that night that seemed unfriendly, I want to apologize.
Wasn't anything unfriendly, Commissioner. You just threw me out of your house.
Well, I apologize.
That's okay.
No, it's not. How could I have done such a thing? Throw a guest out of my house. On a cold night, too.
You don't know the half of it. When I got to my house, the wife wouldn't let me in.
No? Where'd you sleep, Floyd?
Busted in the cellar door and slept on the sofa in the living room. That generally softens her up, but not this time. When she come down in the morning, she was still wound up like a cuckoo clock. Da, 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 da.
Should never have given that party.
We never should have went. It's always the same thing. Every time she thinks I got my eye on some dame. But I ask you, Mr. Gildersleeve, did I get out of line in any way, shape, manner, or form?
Not that I noticed.
Only one way I can figure it. She reads my mind.
Oh.
Say, you know that Miss Del Rey is quite a dish, if you don't mind my saying so.
Miss Del Rey is nothing to me, Floyd.
No?
I was simply trying to help the lady get her dancing school started. And she walks right out of my party and goes off with Hooker.
Yeah, that's gratitude.
Well, she can have the old goat. Although what she sees in him, I can't imagine.
Maybe the judge is more of a man than we've been figuring.
I'm not interested in that question either, Floyd.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't really want a haircut, did you, Commissioner?
No, that was just a... I can wait.
Hot towel, massage?
No, thank you. Ought to be getting home, Floyd. My niece has been a little under the weather lately. Must remember to stop at the drugstore on the way. Better be going. I just wanted to square things up a little, Floyd.
Consider him square, Mr. Gildersleeve. These things happen, that's all. Drop in any time.
Yeah, thanks. I will, Floyd.
And if you should run into the senorita, give her a hot tamale for me.
Oh, that's all over.
You're listening to the Great Gildersleeve with Hal Perry on the Golden Age of Radio Theater. Now back to the Great Gildersleeve.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this afternoon?
I want a thermometer, please, Petey.
A thermometer? You want the clinical thermometer or one for the weather?
I wanted to take somebody's temperature with.
Yeah, that's good. I haven't got the other kind. You running a fever, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, Mr. Peavy. My niece Marjorie's had a little something. Streptococcus. The doctor won't let her get up till her temperature's normal.
Yeah, wise precaution. A wise precaution.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Now, here's just the ticket, I'd say. $1.75.
$1.75 for a thermometer? Confound it, Peavy. The kids break them all the time. They're not worth it.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. This is a precision instrument, tested by 7 different people at the factory.
Yeah, well, I'll bet none of them tried dropping it or sticking it in a baked potato. Leroy did that with the last one.
Well, of course, they're only built...
Yeah, never mind, Peavy. Just wrap it up. I'll take it.
Yes, sir. Mr. Gildersleeve, I wanted to tell you how sorry I am we couldn't come to your party Saturday night.
Well, you didn't miss a thing, Peavy. You were mighty lucky.
No, I wouldn't say that. Mrs. Peavy and I went to a lecture on trees.
Trees?
How fast they grow, how old they get to be, what the bark is for, and so on. I couldn't seem to get my mind on it.
Well, I wish I'd been there.
That's funny. All the time I was looking at those lantern slides, I kept wishing I was at your party. I've got an idea this Miss Dolores Del Rey must be quite a pippin.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Peavy.
Oh, no offense, Mr. Gildersleeve.
The lady is nothing whatever to me. Absolutely nothing.
Well, that was my understanding, that it was Judge Hooker who had the prior claim.
Hooker had no claim at all.
Well, I thought he found her.
What if he did? She's a woman, not a pocketbook.
Yes.
And what's more, this whole question is a matter of great indifference to me. Put the thermometer on my bill, Peavy. I've got to go.
Yes, sir. He's running more of a fever than he thinks.
Leroy, is that you?
Yeah. Your wife, Marge? How do you feel?
Oh, much better, thanks. I feel fine.
Marge, I brought you something.
You did? What?
My Red Ryder pistol. You can sleep with it tonight if you like, under your pillow.
Well, Leroy, that's very sweet of you. You're sure you won't be needing it?
No, I've got my hunting knife. I'll sleep with that.
Well, That's very generous.
Hey, you can keep it even. Go on, keep it. It's yours.
Oh, I couldn't do that, Leroy. That'd leave you unarmed.
Well, I'll lend it to you then, till you get well. I'll put it here on the table. You can reach it if you need it. Unless you'd like to hold it a while.
I'll enjoy just having it there where I can look at it.
Gosh, I'm sure glad you're feeling better, Marge.
Oh, I am much better.
You know, I got to thinking. I holler a lot, but gosh, if anything was to happen to you, well, I don't know who I'd fight with.
You don't need to worry about me.
It was pretty bad, huh? What you had?
Streptococcus?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a sore throat, really.
Is that all? Give me back my pistol. I'm only kidding, Marge. We missed you these last few days, Unc and me. It's not the same just two people eating together. Unc gets awful quiet. You wouldn't know him. Just sits there stoking it in. He's been kind of gruesome lately anyway.
You know, I have a feeling he has something on his mind.
You and me both.
What do you suppose it could be?
Well, it isn't business.
What do you mean?
You remember when he fell for Mrs. Ransom, how he used to go mooning around the house?
Yes.
You remember when he got all excited about Miss Goodwin there, couldn't even eat?
Yes.
Well, here we go again.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, you missed the party. You didn't get a look at that senorita. Boy, she's...
Quiet, I think I heard him come in.
Gosh, can you imagine what it would be like if he married her? Nothing but Spanish omelets, Spanish rice, Spanish onions.
Hush, Leroy.
Do you suppose if we talked to him about it man to man and asked him to watch his step?
Oh, that's the worst thing you could do. For heaven's sake, don't mention it. If we even...
Well, what are you two rascals whispering about?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all.
Hello, Uncle Mort.
How's my little princess this evening?
No, much better. There's nothing the matter with me now. I feel fine.
Well, we'll see about that. I hope you're right.
I lent her my Red Ryder pistol. Wasn't it nice of me?
Fine, my boy. Been having a little Indian trouble around here lately?
Did you get a thermometer, Uncle Mort?
Yeah, got it right here.
I know I haven't any temperature.
Well, we'll just see.
Shake it down first, Unc, and hold on to it.
Yeah, and you keep it out of the baked potatoes.
Remember, if it's still normal, I can get up for dinner. The doctor said so.
We'll see, my dear. Open your mouth. That's it. Under your tongue. Now keep your mouth closed. Have to wait a couple of minutes. Kind of a day you have? Did you eat any lunch? No talking. Thermometer won't work if you keep your mouth open. Or is it? I mean, that's it. How's your throat? Still sore?
No, it feels much better.
Keep it closed. Kind of a day did you have, Leroy? Did you distinguish yourself in your studies? And if not, why not?
Say, speaking of that, Unc.
Yes?
It seems I got my report card today.
Well, you did, eh? And what does that report card say, Leroy?
Well, I don't want you to think I didn't try, Unc. I worked like anything all month. Honest.
Leroy.
I guess some kids are just naturally smarter than others, Unc.
You remember what I told you last month?
Yes, sir.
You remember what the punishment was to be if your marks didn't improve?
Gee, have a heart, Unc.
An understanding is an understanding, Leroy, and we had an understanding.
Yes, sir.
Now, where is that report card?
It's here.
Don't go away. Arithmetic, A. History, A. English, A. Geography, A. Science. Well, they're all A's.
Those are the breaks, kids.
Why, Leroy, that's wonderful.
I fooled you that time.
By George, you did. Why, that's wonderful. Why, I never got an A in my life. I shouldn't have said that.
You don't see many kids get all A's on their report card. Had to work for that.
You bet you did. And I just want to say, my boy, that's about the finest. Leroy, this isn't a forgery.
Forgery? Oh.
I'm sorry, my boy. I apologize. Just comes a little suddenly, that's all. Marjorie, what do you think of our little Leroy getting all A's? Oh, my goodness, I forgot all about the thermometer. Here, let me.
What does it say?
Wait till I look at it.
How do you like me getting all A's, Marge? Great news.
Why don't they make these darn things so you can read them?
Oh, I hope it's normal. I hope it's normal.
Oh, I had it there, and then I lost it.
Well, turn it on so the light gets on it.
I've got it. Steady, steady. 99. No, it's not. It's normal.
Hooray, I'm normal. And I'm super. work.
That's right. Marjorie's normal and Leroy is super.
That's not easy getting all A's, you know it.
You bet it's not. I'm very proud of you, my boy.
I'll let Marge my pistol, too.
Oh, well. By George, with Marjorie herself again and Leroy practically Phi Beta Kappa, we're going to have to celebrate this.
How?
Oh, let's have a celebration.
Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you two kids to the downtown club tomorrow for lunch. How do you like that?
Do they have ice cream there?
Any kind you want.
Oh, that'll be fun. You've never taken us there, Uncle Mort.
So we're going tomorrow, because for once in his life, your old uncle is paid up.
Gosh, the downtown club. Can Piggy come along?
Oh, I think it'd be more fun if we just kept it in the family, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. No stranger, just a family.
Okay. Say, Unc,
Hmm?
speaking of strangers in the family, Marge and I were talking just now.
Yeah?
Oh, Leroy.
Well, why not?
Because.
Well, we've got him in a good mood.
What's this all about?
Well, Marge doesn't think I should say anything, but we were kind of worrying. I mean, well, it's about this Miss Del Rey. What about her?
Oh, Leroy.
Well, what about her?
Well, what about her?
I wouldn't worry about her, my boy. She's nothing but a friend. I'm not even sure she's that after the other evening. Let's let Judge Hooker worry about her, shall we?
Gosh, Unc, you're not as dumb as you seem.
Little Leroy. Answer the door, will you, Leroy? Leroy. Guess he's gone to bed.
Good evening, Throckmorton.
Eve. Well, this is an unexpected pleasure. Do come in.
I can't stay, Throckmorton, but Leroy told me Marjorie's been quite sick.
Well, Leroy's been exaggerating as usual. She's all right.
Oh, I'm so glad. I brought her some grape jelly Mother put up last summer.
Well, now that's one thing your mother was good at.
Really, Throckmorton?
All I mean is her jelly is magnificent. Marjorie will be crazy about it. Come in and sit down, Eve. Take off your coat.
Oh, I really mustn't. I want to get home in time to hear the symphony broadcast.
Well, listen to it here. I like good music, too, you know.
Do you, Throckmorton?
Crazy about it. Here, I'll hang up your coat.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Now we can sit by the fire, talk, and listen to some nice classical music. Sofa?
This chair is quite comfortable, really.
Oh.
The fire's nice. Oh, how was your party the other night?
Party? Oh, very pleasant. Too bad you couldn't come.
Well, perhaps I can meet, Miss Del Rey, is it?
That's right.
Perhaps I can meet her some other time.
Not so sure you'd like her, Eve.
Why not? I saw her on the street the other day. She's quite beautiful.
Oh, yes. But after all, what's beauty? A thing of the moment. It withers and fades. But you, Eve.
Just how am I to take that, Throckmorton?
What did I say?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Don't get me wrong, Eve. I think you're pretty, too. I think you're beautiful. Only, well, you're not such a physical type. More mental.
Oh?
I mean, when I'm with you, I don't think of silly things as if you were just a woman.
What do you think I am, Throckmorton?
Huh?
A woman is a woman.
Maybe I've been wrong about you, Eve.
Maybe you have.
You know, you're really very pretty, Eve.
Thank you.
I like your hair. Smells nice. It's black. I like your eyes, too.
Well?
When I'm with you, there's something about you that stirs me to the very depths.
Do you mean that, Throckmorton?
Do I? Shove over. Hey, Eve, where are you going?
The symphony, Throckmorton. You've forgotten I'm the mental type.
Oh! Tchaikovsky, a fine way to spend an evening.
We'll return to the Great Gildersleeve starring Hal Perry in just a moment. Now the conclusion of our episode of the Great Gildersleeve from November 26, 1944.
Now let's get back to Summerfield, and in particular the Downtown Businessmen's Club, where Gildersleeve is entertaining his niece and nephew at luncheon. Never has there been a merrier affair, or one where the ice cream flowed more freely. All through the meal, the great man has sat there cracking jokes and making puns, beaming upon his attractive niece, and urging Leroy to stuff himself in honor of his scholastic triumph.
Oh, boy, get him!
Oh, Mort, people are looking at you.
What do I care? I'm a member here. I can look cross-eyed if I want to.
Oh, you're awful.
Hey, here's Judge Hooker trying to smile with his new teeth.
Oh,
Leroy.
Leroy, there's such a thing as carrying a good thing too far, my boy. Now, you calm down and finish your ice cream. Young lady's waiting to take your plate.
Oh, okay, finished.
You had enough?
You got any more?
Leroy, you've had 2 orders.
Well, I'm hungry. I worked hard this month.
Yeah, bring the boy another ice cream. Not every month he gets all A's, is it, Leroy?
I'll probably get A+ next month.
You'll probably get D-. Marjorie, another helping for you?
Oh, no, I couldn't possibly. This is just perfect. It's been such fun, Uncle Mort.
By George, we must do this more often.
Every Saturday. How about it, Unc?
Well, we'll see, my boy.
It's been just like a family reunion.
Sure. Marge well again? And you speaking to me again?
You mustn't pay any attention to me, my boy. If I get a little preoccupied at times, I mean well, but I have things on my mind sometimes. Business and so on.
Uncle Mort, let's all stick together.
Why, certainly, my dear. Of course we'll stick together. The 3 Musketeers, that's us.
Yeah, all for one and one for all.
And no outsiders.
Sure. Leroy is Athos, and you're Porthos, and...
No, you're Porthos, Unc. You're the fat one.
Uncle Mort is not fat. He's just large.
Well, thank you, my dear. Well, here's your ice cream. Go ahead, Leroy.
Hey, Unc, look who just came in.
Who?
At that table over there. Judge Hooker.
He has a lady with him.
It's her. It's that Miss Del Rey.
Eat your ice cream, Leroy.
So that's Miss Del Rey.
What did I tell you?
Eat your ice cream.
Well, the judge sees you, Uncle Mort. He's coming over.
Yeah, what does he want, the old ghost? Haven't spoken to him since that evening. If he
Well, having a little party, I see. Good day, Throckmorton.
Good day.
Marjorie. Leroy.
Hello, Judge.
Hi.
Nice to see you about again, Marjorie.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, too, Throckmorton.
Thank you.
Sorry you're otherwise engaged, Throckmorton, or I'd ask you to join Miss Del Rey and myself at our table.
I've had my luncheon, thank you.
You might like to know it was Miss Del Rey who suggested it.
Miss Del Rey means nothing to me, Judge. Nothing whatever. And you mean less.
Oh, pardon me. Pardon me for intruding. Pardon me for living.
I hadn't noticed it.
What's the matter, Unc? What are you so upset about?
Eat your confounded ice cream and let's get out of here. I gotta get to the office. 7 from 14 is 7. 1 to carry. 8 and 1 is 9. From 13 is... If there's anything I hate worse than adding, it's subtracting. How Leroy ever got an A. Don't sneak up on me like that, Bessie. You startled me.
Yes, sir.
A good secretary knocks before she enters.
Oh, excuse me, I just wanted to ask you something, but you're busy. I'll come back.
Well, you've interrupted me now. You might as well spill it.
Yes, sir. Well, you see, there's a cousin of mine. I mean, he's a sort of cousin. We're not sure. He's a staff sergeant, and he's in town now on furlough. So, I mean, could I take the rest of the afternoon off?
Confound it, Bessie. I'll not have the routine of this office upset by staff sergeants.
Yes, sir.
And that's final.
Yes, sir.
Let me get back to my work. And by the way, I want you to get me the figures on the cash receipts for 1938, 39, and 40.
Yes, sir.
7 from 14 is... Well, Bessie, what is it?
Mr. Gildersleeve, weren't you ever young yourself once?
Come here, Bessie.
Yes, sir.
I didn't mean to be unkind, but work is work, you know. Work is important. How old are you, Bessie?
19.
19. I suppose young men seem pretty important to you right now, don't they?
Well, they're awfully scarce. Good ones.
Yes, I suppose so. I suppose you think a lot about love and all that.
Well, I'm human, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I dare say. You know, Bessie, when you get to be my age, you'll find that things change a lot. You'll discover that love is an illusion, really. Just one of those things that pass.
I guess you must have had some bad luck, huh?
It's not just that. There comes a time when a man has to face the fact that he'll probably never marry. That he'll always be a bachelor. Always a little lonely. Then nothing matters to him but work. Work, work, work. Work is man's salvation. You'll discover that when you're my age, Bessie.
Yes, sir. But right now I'm 19.
All right, Bessie, run along. Run along to your staff sergeant.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, thank you. Oh, what was it you wanted me to get the cash receipt?
Yeah, for 38, 39, and 40. Never mind, I'll find it myself. Run along.
Shall I lock up, Mr. Gildersleeve?
I'll do that, Bessie. Never mind.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a good time. Yeah, have a good time. Don't mind me. Work. Probably be here till all hours. Just a cold sandwich and a cup of coffee to keep me going. That's all I need. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, still working. Maybe she'll pass by on her way home from some gay party and see my light still burning here, working. Oh, well, let's see. Where was I? Have to start over again here. 7 and 14 is 7. 7 from 14 is 7. Each time I cling to your kiss, I hear music divine. Oh, nuts. Gotta get to work. Work. Well, I can't go any further till I get those figures for the cash receipts. Where the devil could Bessie put them? That girl. Well, maybe they're in her file. Oh, getting cold up here. I suppose they turn off all the heat at 6 o'clock. Cash receipts. That's more like it. Here we are, 19, 38, 39, and 40. Who's that?
It is me, Dolores.
Oh. If you're looking for Judge Hooker's chambers, Miss Del Rey, they're on the next floor, down the hall.
But I'm not looking for Judge Hooker. I'm looking for Water Commissioner Gildersleeve. That is you, no?
Yeah, I'm the commissioner. What can I do for you?
I wish to make a complaint, Senor Commissioner. A very serious complaint.
Oh? What's the matter? No water?
No, Commissioner. Why have you not come to see me, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well,
Are you angry with me?
No.
Then what is it?
Well, the party at my house the other night.
Oh, the party was lovely. I enjoyed it.
You walked out on it.
Oh, the judge practically dragged me away.
I suppose he dragged you to lunch at the downtown club today.
He told me I would see you there, and I did see you. But you did not see me.
Oh, yes, I did. If it's your idea of fun to have lunch with an old crumb like Hooker, well, go ahead. Have lunch with him every day.
Oh, you funny man. Why do you think I came up here?
I can't imagine.
Oh, foolish. The judge is very sweet, but he's very old.
Oh?
He's like Santa Claus. Or my grandfather. I want to talk to someone with a little sparkle in his eyes. Someone with youth and strength and zoom.
Yeah.
Senor, what are you tearing up?
The cash receipt for 1938, 39, and 40. Good night.
And that's The Great Gildersleeve, starring Hal Perry on the golden age of radio theater. I'll be back in just a moment to answer a listener's letter from Seaside, Oregon, about Shirley Booth. A Seaside, Oregon listener writes, I know that Shirley Booth was on Duffy's Tavern, but wasn't she also on a show with Eddie Bracken? Well, frankly, I'd never heard of that program, and you did send us to our resource book, and we did find out that Miss Booth played Betty Mahoney on the Eddie Bracken Show. That was a sitcom on radio that started on CBS in 1946. Also featured in the cast were Janet Waldo and William Demarest. Thank you for bringing up a program we hadn't heard of, Shirley Booth and Eddie Bracken on The Eddie Bracken Show. This is Victor Ives on the Golden Age of Radio Show, thanking you for listening, inviting you to join us next time we turn back the clock to relive some more of those golden moments of radio's yesteryear and bring you the greatest radio entertainment of all time. Bye-bye.
For a copy of today's program, call 1-800-326-0296 and refer to show number 40. That number again is 1-800-326-0296. And remember to refer to show number 40.